Hey guys, I hope you're very well. This is about further steps you guys can take to protect yourself from the spread of the virus. Now, I'm a healthcare professional with quite a bit of experience of dealing with this kind of viruses, and I was infected with this virus in December and have recovered. So, one thing I'd like you guys to know that the information currently on the media about the fact that the virus is not airborne is complete nonsense. From my point of view, the virus is airborne because if someone coughs or sneezes around you, it travels through the air, which means it's airborne, which means it can be inhaled through your nose into your lungs. Therefore, it is airborne. Anyone who says it's not is actually saying something that is absolutely nonsense. Going back to disinfecting surfaces like door handles and things like that, if you guys are using antibacterial soaps, this is not a bacteria. This is a virus. Antibacterial soap will not kill this virus. And furthermore, if you are wiping a surface in a circular fashion, such as if you start, let's say, on at one point and then you go around back to the same point, you're basically reintroducing the bacteria back or the virus back again. So, and do not reuse the same material for every surface you're disinfecting, because you will be introducing the virus to other places. So if you're going to swab any area that needs to be disinfected, you need to swab away from it and not away and back to it. That is not the way to disinfect. And also, it's not a way to disinfect by reusing the same piece of material, whatever you're using, to disinfect the surface. If you are working in the public sector, I have seen many people not wearing masks right now in food stores, banks, wherever. I was at the airport not so long ago. Not a single security officer was wearing a mask, which is, in my opinion, this is mind-boggling. It's absolute, complete, freaking ignorance. And the fact that the government is telling that you don't need to wear a mask and it's not airborne is complete nonsense. And I'm repeating this again, complete nonsense. This virus is transferable through air, therefore it is airborne. It is also transferable through surfaces. Yes, if you touch a surface and you put it in your nose or mouth, yeah, you could catch it. This virus does affect mostly. The biggest danger is to those people who are mainly immune compromised, regardless of their age. If you're healthy and you're 80 years old, you should be okay. However, you still need to be careful and take all the proper repercussions. Going back to my point about this whole thing that the governments are currently saying and doing about basically telling people not to wear masks, such as N95, or they're not even instructing people how to properly swipe surfaces or even to change their gloves. I mean, this is, in my opinion, the government is hugely here to blame for the spread of this virus, because they're not teaching the public what I'm actually telling you guys right now. If you wear gloves and you dip them in a pile of crap, let's put it this way. I'm just gonna be a bit graphic here, just for the sake of creating an image here. If you dip those gloves in crap, and then you pick up an object, that crap is gonna go to that object, correct? And then if the crap is still on your gloves, and you put it and you pick up another object, you're still going to put crap on another object, right? So the whole thing, even about gloves, is mainly about self-protection, but not protection of everyone else around us. So I very strongly recommend you guys, if you are working in a public sector or you are trying to protect yourself, do change the gloves. Do not reuse the same freaking gloves all the time. And do make sure you wear the mask. I really don't care what somebody says that this is not transmittable by air. It is. I'm sorry. That's how I was infected, and I do know quite a bit about airborne viruses. I've had very good. I had a pleasure of being infected with everything from SARS to H1N1 and all those viruses over the years, and I didn't even take one single vaccine, and my body recovered very quickly. So you guys can do that too. It's just the problem is with most of you folks out there, I'm not going to say all of you, and this is not a put down by any chance, but the problem is that most people's diet is completely crap. That's why people are that's why people's immune systems are compromised. If you guys are eating too much, if you guys are eating sugar and all the soft drinks and Coke and white bread and refined carbohydrates and all that, and eating genetically modified food and all this stuff with pesticides, you're compromising your immunity, which means you are susceptible to any kind of illness. Doesn't matter this virus or not. So my personal suggestion to many of you is make sure you get on track with your diet. Start eating healthy, organically grown food, and make sure you get lots of vitamin C from food sources. Make sure you guys are getting vitamin D. Get lots of sunlight. When it's clinically shown that having surplus of vitamin D in the body protects your body from viruses. I would say also go contact your local homeopath, Chinese medical doctors. They have many solutions at least as prevention that could aid you more than just sitting in a home like sitting ducks and waiting for some miracle to happen. Because as far as I know, this is not the wisest thing to deal with the situation. Because you cannot hope for by sitting at home that somehow this whole thing will disappear. Chinese have been on a lockdown for 2 months now. And that's like being put in a jail. And that's not a good feeling at all. So psychologically, if people are affected and depressed and living in fear, it depresses their immunity. So we need to collectively act here to make sure that we prevent in the wisest possible way infection. And what I'm talking about here is make sure you get the proper nutrition, do your research on the web, consult with local homeopath or homeopaths, find out solutions that are natural and safe. If they come out with a vaccine, which I presume they will, listen, I have one thing to say: do your own homework, educate yourself about everything. Don't believe anything blindly. Don't even believe me. Find out for yourself. Do your own homework. And one thing I'd like to say is, when it comes to this vaccine that will be pulled out, you guys need to reinvestigate the safety of this whole thing. Mainly because, first of all, the vaccine will be released. If it will be released, it will be released for the old strain of the virus. There is currently a new strain that is much more aggressive, and the virus is mutating. By the time they come up with a vaccine, there may be already several more aggressive strains that have mutated, which means that the vaccine may prove no protection. In my frank opinion, the best way to protect yourself and the best way to immunize yourself is going to be by you giving your body all the right nutrients, cutting all the sugar and crap out of your diet, stopping smoking and cigarettes, marijuana, and all that stuff, and making sure you get plenty of sunlight and good sleep. Also, turn your Wi-Fi off in your houses. Believe me or not, do your own homework again. Wi-Fi weakens your cellular function. It compromises your cellular wall conductivity and exchange of ions. You need to educate yourself and do your own research, do your own homework. Again, do not believe me. Do not believe anything I or anyone says. Find out the truth for yourself. Question everything. and stay safe, stay well and healthy. And once again, take my tips, because as a healthcare professional, I do know quite a bit about this, and I do know quite a bit about disease prevention and disease treatment of such viruses. So other than that, feel free to ask me any questions. If you have something negative to say, please hold it to keep it to yourself. I would like to hear some intelligent questions that where we can have an intelligent debate, or the intelligent discussion, not even debate here, discussion as to what we can do. And other than that, I wish you all the best of safety and health, and God bless, and all the best to you all.